could turn your mic off. There we go. Sounds like a game plan. I'm assuming we're rolling. And if you need to holler at me in the box. There it is. How was the weekend?
I'm trying to find the video of Grizz twerking from the game. But the weekend was good. How was yours?
That was a good moment. That was a great moment. I enjoyed the throwback music that was played. The throwback hip-hop and rap music. In
Quad City DJs crushed the halftime show.
Yes, they did.
Because I obviously have to do... No, but I didn't know just how much it would liven my soul. Because I have to do the halftime show, but it starts before my halftime show starts, and having to put my headphones back on and leave Space Jam was very difficult.
3 songs. They only got 3.
But those three are bangers.
3 are Super Bowl halftime show type worthy, where they could absolutely do a Super Bowl. For like 7 minutes, they got you.
If someone could have them be a guest within the halftime show and then collab on those songs, some sort of mashup,
that'd be great.
We would all be better for it.
Who's after? Oh, Kendrick this year.
Kendrick
in New Orleans. What was the song that you listened to?
Oh, our dear friend Dionne Warwick, friend of the show, who we've talked about often. I feel like my Apple Music shuffle has been listening. Say a little prayer for you. The moment I wake up, before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you.
Hadn't heard Kyra at all today.
And suddenly Kyra sang along in my ear. She loves that song. Who doesn't love that song? The first time I ever heard that song was in my best friend's wedding. Love that movie. Watched it as John Elway won a Super Bowl. All the parents were downstairs watching the Broncos. All the kids were watching my best friend's wedding. How's that for a sad Denver sports tale?
It's not sad.
I was
That's
like
what
4.
kids do. We went outside, Cowboys, Bills. We went outside and played our own damn football game. That's how bad the football was in that Super Bowl.
Tough scene. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday to you. It is Monday, October 28th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, what a beautiful night it was at FedEx Forum over the weekend. Grizzlies home opener ends with a win over the Magic. We had Huff reverse dunks. We had the joggles out. We had Jaren and Dez playing a game together for the first time in forever. We had chants for Yuki Kawamura that were answered. We will talk about all of it. We also start a busy week for the Grizzlies with 3 games this week at home for the Grizz starting tonight against the Bulls. Gary Parrish is going to join us about 40 minutes in. We'll also discuss big weekend of the World Series, big weekend in football, a Jayden Daniels Hail Mary, National Tight Ends Day, college football week 9. The Memphis Tigers hung on for a big win. And then we'll end with some Hot Mess Express, which will be primarily dedicated to the Dwyane Wade statue that was unveiled in Miami last night. If you haven't seen it, it is something to behold. We will get all into it. It's a Monday. You know what we say. CJ.
Say a little prayer for you forever and ever. You'll be in my heart and now.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
At Southland Casino Hotel, it's time to work hard, play hard with our $500,000 giveaway. Earn entries October through November 9th and take home free play and amazing prizes on select Saturdays, including a big rig. Stay connected on social media for weekly drawing clues. Join us November 9th for the grand finale drawing where you could drive off in a 4-wheeler, side-by-side, or big rig. Work hard and play harder at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Hot Wheels fans, don't miss the exciting return of Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party at FedEx Forum. Don't miss the world premiere of Stegosaurus. Watch your favorite Hot Wheels monster trucks light up the floor, including Gungster, Bone Shaker, and the legendary Bigfoot. Plus the dazzling dance party, laser light show, and more. And save up to 50% on kids' tickets. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind Hot Wheels experience at FedEx Forum, November 2nd and 3rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
John Cena was spilling life lessons on this stream, bro. So the best thing I watched all week, John Cena on the Cassinet stream. By the way, he stole your hairdo. You got to make a phone call.
I was about to say, you showed me a little bit of this clip because I saw the messy room, and the only thing I could see is John Cena's hair. I mean, come on, bro.
He stole your bar.
It's
he stole
literally identical.
He stole your flow, bar for bar, word for word.
How is mine more gray than his, though?
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Happy Grizzlies game day. We've got another one at FedEx Forum tonight as the Grizzlies take on the Chicago Bulls. Big sports day. It's a Sports Equinox Day, CJ. Happy Sports Equinox to all who celebrate the 31st Sports Equinox in our great sports history. We're all for men's major sports leagues, and I will put emphasis on the men's, the MNBA, and the NHL, the MNHL, and the MNFL, and the MMLB all playing on one day.
What was that last one?
MMLB. Okay. MMLB, men's Major League Baseball, as opposed to women's Major League Baseball, you know.
Which would be softball.
Correct. So that one doesn't work quite the same. Oopsie. MLS in action today too. We've got everything.
MMLS.
MMLS.
Men's Major League Soccer.
Right. And because they're NWSL, National Women's Soccer League. So they have different abbreviations going on. But alas, we have everything going down. I love a good Sports Equinox because it keeps my attention on absolutely a million bajillion screens. But I will be here watching the Grizzlies at FedEx Forum, which after this weekend, I'm very excited. I had so much fun watching Grizzlies basketball with all of my friends at FedEx Forum this weekend, and I realized how starved I was, how thirsty I was for fun times back with the Memphis Grizzlies. I was dying of thirst, some might say. I wandered through a long, dry desert last season. No disrespect to Timmy Allen and Jack White. Remember when we had a Jack White on the Memphis Grizzlies last season? You might not, but we did. We sure did. Lamar Stevens. They all made it through last year so that we could lead our way to Grizzlies Magic on Saturday night. We don't have to talk about Grizzlies Rockets on Friday night. We'll mention it later. But this is about Grizzlies Magic on Saturday, the home opener And to be able to sit there and watch Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Desmond Bane all play a basketball game together for the first time at home in 297 days. It had been 297 days since we watched those three in a game at FedEx Forum. It had been 295 since they'd all played in a win over the Los Angeles Lakers. But having those three, having the player intros by Project Pat to start this thing off.
Project Pat. Pata, who also, Pastor Pata, who dapped up Ja, leaving Zach Edey hanging. And then I think left Bane and Jaren hanging to dap up Marcus Smart. It's like, oh, Project Pata, you got to dap everybody up if you're walking
Everybody
through.
gets daps on the home opener.
Home opener, you got to dap them all up, Pata.
We got the intro video. Shout out Michael Blevins, who always crushes it on the intro video. A little Public Enemy to start the year. We had the Circle of Life moment with the baby being lifted into the sky, dressed as a grizzly. And that symbolizes the Circle of Life. It moves us all. And we are into a new season of Grizzlies basketball in this building, because the first half of that game was unreal to watch. Between Jay Huff throwing down reverse dunks off a beautiful pass from Jaren Jackson Jr., might I add. The reverse in traffic is going to get all the credit. But the pass by Jaren Jackson Jr., which is absolutely not the Hot Mess Express.
Yeah, we're not putting that on the Hot Mess.
No. We are putting that on the things I want to see more of all season long. Watch this pass from Jaren. Pew. And reverse. Does all this man want to do is find a reverse dunk? He had one semi-normal dunk off a jaw lob earlier in that first quarter that got wiped off because of a bad offensive foul call on Ja, which the Grizzlies couldn't review because they had wasted their challenge on a Jaren foul early.
Those refs were something last night, or Saturday night. They were something. Back on Jay Huff, though.
They lost control of that game for a little bit.
Yes, they did.
Back on Jay Huff.
Back on Jay Huff, who nobody told me about.
Absolutely not. But I want to make sure, now that we're here on October 28th.
All this man does is take and make threes and reverse dunk for no reason. He sees a regular dunk, is like, no, I just want to reverse it. There's no reason for him to reverse that dunk.
There's all the reason for him to reverse.
Reason.
He's Jay Huff. That's the reason.
There's no defender there.
That is the reason.
Nobody's there. No, he's just going to catch and reverse it. Why? Because he's Jay Blippin' Huff. Nobody told me about this reverse dunk king or reverse dunk god, Jay Huff.
I tweeted, I fear I'm getting high on Huff, because we're all making a million bajillion huffing jokes. And someone said, why fear? And I said, because Nancy Reagan told me to just say no. This is what Nancy Reagan was warning us about. Reverse Jay Huff dunks and nothing but threes from your backup center in this moment, which was one of the beautiful things. And even when things were going a little off the rails there in the third quarter, because I think the Memphis Grizzlies might have a third quarter problem to figure out, at least through these games thus far, particularly the game against the Rockets on Friday, where the third quarter is what doomed them, and then allowing a 21-0 run by the Orlando Magic in the third quarter of that game. One of the things that stabled the ship was Jay Huff coming back in the game and hitting a big three. So timely in those threes as well for Jay Huff.
I was a bit distracted.
Yes.
I looked down, and I looked up, and Huff is in the game. And I'm like, oh, okay. Is Huff and Jaren in the game? Cool. And I looked down, I was like, oh, Taylor Jenkins sure is subbing a lot. Is Jaren and Santi in the game? Wait, hold on. Is it Jaren, Santi, Huff, and LaRavia all on the court at the same time? How long was that lineup on the court? Because that's when I felt like
that was towards the end of that's when things started coming back.
That's when I felt like they started figuring some things out, because they were able to rebound.
Rebounding. Every rebound counts for this Memphis Grizzlies team thus far. And a part of that is Zach Edey has struggled. But because Jay Huff has played so well, you don't need Zach Edey to play more than what he have on Saturday. 15 minutes, 13 minutes, gets in foul trouble again. And the refs are calling, like, he's going to have to learn how to adjust to the refs calling just about everything. Like, if Zach Edey gets physical, he's being called for a foul. And that's part of learning his new NBA game. And the Grizzlies are fortunate that the front court depth hasn't been exposed, because you have Jay Huff here on a two-way who is able to make up for some of that. And that lineup at the end of the third quarter that allowed the Grizzlies to stable things. You go into the fourth, everything's fine, everything's dandy. But looking in that third quarter, we were sitting up on Radio Row, and I think they went up 29 after Desmond Bane hit a three, and then he had an and one finish, and they go up 29. And then Jaren was subbed out for Santi. Marcus Smart gets subbed out for Jalen Wells. Ja gets subbed out for Scottie Pippen Jr. And it's Santi, Wells, Pippen, Bane, and Clark. And the Magic just can't be stopped. They're getting everything. They're getting easy looks. They're getting momentum off of those looks. And we're begging and pleading. Can all the starters go back in? Can we stop this? And minutes rotations, or minutes distributions, I should say, and rotations in general, has been one of the storylines of this early Memphis Grizzlies season. And Taylor Jenkins was asked about it going into the game against the Magic. Are you going this deep? Are you distributing minutes as a result of playing 6 games in 9 nights to start the year, and now you have 3 and 4 here at home this week even? Or is this more a testament to schematically what you're looking to do? And he said it was both. Part of it is game density was the phrase that he used, as having so many games in such a short span of time to start the year. But then also just the pace that this team is trying to play with consistently. They want 0 dead balls. And I thought that was so evident early in the game. And shout out to Marcus Smart, who I thought his best game thus far has been the game against the Magic, because he was really pushing that pace early and making some big defensive plays, not allowing the Magic to get comfortable at all. And when the Grizzlies are out running and gunning, they're able to build up a 29-point lead. When things got a little slower and into half-court sets, and especially with Grizzlies' half-court offense, that Magic half-court defense is one of the best in the league to start the year and coming off last season.
And the Grizzlies, yes, Magic defense is good. The Grizzlies offensively still are trying to figure out where everybody needs to be in the half court. There were a couple of times, both in the Rockets games and Saturday in the Magic game, where 2 players are running to the same spot, almost running into each other, where it doesn't look like the grasp of the offense is all the way there just yet. And that's to be expected. It's new. It's going to take some time for everything to get acclimated. But with all that being said, if you don't have the half court figured out, you got to run and gun. You just got to get up and down the court. And Marcus Smart is a large part of the reason why they're able to do that.
We even showed that second J. Huff reverse dunk. And the 3/4 court pass from Marcus Smart there was spectacular.
That pass is great, and I fear he's the only one who knows how to feed the post. Only one with the skill set necessary to feed the post. Edey seals a lot, and he's open a lot, and he doesn't get the ball near enough because whomever is on the wing simply does not know where to put the ball to keep it from getting deflected and to keep Edey in scoring position, and Marcus Smart can do that.
Marcus Smart had 3 assists. Scottie Pippen Jr., 12 assists off the bench. We have seen in both these last games, and I believe in the game against the Jazz too, where Taylor Jenkins is keeping Ja on the court with Scottie Pippen Jr. So it's like a 2-point guard lineup out there. And then when Bane is in, then both of them are out at points. It's an interesting thing to keep track of on what they're aiming for with that. But Scottie Pippen Jr. has been really, really solid thus far. And then to go back to the first half, because yes, the third quarter was bad, but when you're up 29, you can have a team go on a 21-0 run. It is not preferred, and I can speak for all Grizzlies fans, I think, when they would much rather have the 29-point lead stay, or 20-plus at all times, the comfy coziness of that. But because of how they operated in the first half of that game, they were flying. The highlights were, by the time you get to the Quad City DJ's performance at halftime, it just felt like it blended so perfectly into that first half because they're playing Space Jam, and you had just watched the back-to-back lobs from Santi to Ja and then Ja to Santi, and the way Ja was able to, in the air, and we talk about this all the time, every night you watch Ja Morant play basketball, you do not take it for granted, and you see something that makes your eyes bug out of your head, and you're like, how the hell did he just do that? That pass to Santi was one of those. The behind-the-back pass to Marcus Smart was another one of those that ended the first half, and you're just flying high. You're like, this is what this is supposed to look like. This is what this is supposed to feel like, and it was a very good feeling to have. We will continue the Grizzlies conversation after a quick break. Some more takeaways, including maybe perhaps the most important and special moment of the home opener. The fans cheered his name, and Taylor Jenkins delivered. A Yuki moment in night 1 at FedEx Forum. We'll look ahead at tonight's game against the Chicago Bulls, what the Grizzlies need to do there as well. Still ahead, Gary Parrish, football talk, all that and more. Busy Monday show. We'll get to it.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
If I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
How much have you added weight since you're already here?
Bro, I think I was like 20?
Ricky,
like
you were
40 pounds.
You
I'm
were
like 265.
You 265 right now?
In between that and like 273, I'm floating in there.
You have looked at a scale and it said 273.
With shoes on, but still.
Too little.
But that's not phone posits either, right?
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The three big beats this week. One was root for points in honor of John Roser. How about that Miami-Louisville game?
Good
Crushed
grief.
the over, which was 60. Finished with 97 total points, 52-45. Meanwhile, the Academy's covering again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done.
This.
Army, best start since 96.
America.
Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
John Cena was spilling life lessons on this stream, bro. So the best thing I watched all week, John Cena on the Cassinet stream. By the way, he stole your hairdo. You got to make a phone call.
I was about to say, you showed me a little bit of this clip because I saw the messy room, and the only thing I could see is John Cena's hair. I mean,
yeah,
come on, bro.
He stole your bar.
It's
He stole
literally identical.
He stole your flow, bar for bar, word for word.
How is mine more gray than his, though?
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
You know, we got to talk about Scottie Pippen Jr. Scottie has inked that contract, and he is now officially off the two-way. He is a member of the regular rotation.
Well-deserved, from my opinion. Like, he straight up earned this one from all the time put in last season with the injuries to Summer League.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizzbeat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Yellow laces, really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges.
I gotta get 'em.
And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Welcome back. Continuing the conversation on the Grizzlies home opener win over the Magic, and then they play the Bulls tonight at FedEx Forum. We didn't mention Zach Edey, 100% career three-point shooter. Zach Edey took his first NBA three, made his three from the corner. I watched him hit like 5 in a row in his pregame warm-up, so he was ready for the moment. It was nice to see that from Zach Edey. He also had a nice lob from Ja, good finish there, which is what this whole thing is supposed to look like. So if you're looking for positives. CJ, you made our chat question of the day. If you are joining us live, be sure to smash that like button on today's show and vote in our chat question of the day. What was the best thing you saw this weekend? And so far, with 88% of the vote, Grizzlies home win and Yuki minutes within that Grizzlies home win, because by the time you got to the ending moments of the fourth quarter, the Grizzlies fans at FedEx Forum knew what they wanted to see, decided to be vocal on what they wanted to see, and take a listen to what they called for and what we all heard them want. CJ, are you playing the Hot Mess Express again? My God!
I'm not touching anything, am I? They want Yuki is what they want.
I loved this moment and seeing him on the bench with Ja, Marcus, everybody cheering for him. And then the moment that he gets in, I was down on the court getting ready for post-game duties, and the place was wild. Like, everybody just wanted to see Yuki Kawamura. He had made his NBA debut in the game against the Rockets. If there was one fun takeaway in the abysmal loss to the Rockets Friday, it was that Yuki got to make his NBA debut. But then to get to do it at home, the fans have fallen in love with Yuki Kawamura, and he didn't score. He apologized for it on his Instagram. He posted on Instagram, which just makes him even more endearing somehow than he already is to everybody. He said, "First home game and great team win. Grizzlies fans are so amazing. Thank you always for your support. I'm sorry I couldn't meet your expectations. I'll definitely improve and work hard every day so that I can contribute to the team." Couldn't meet your expectations? Yuki, listen to me. You meet expectations every day by bringing joy to this Grizzlies team, because God, people just want to see Yuki Kawamura in a game. And Taylor Jenkins gave the people what they wanted. It was awesome to see. After the game, like, even Ja was asked about it. There's this whole thing with jelly beans. I guess Yuki brought Japanese jelly beans for everybody, and then he didn't have his stash after the win. And so there was a fun back and forth there. But everyone just wants to know, what's Yuki Kawamura going to do next time? If he had made one of those threes, the place would have broken.
Erupted. I forget which Magic player it was. Wanted everybody to know Yuki couldn't hold him and proceeded to put 2 threes on Yuki. And if Yuki had responded with some threes of his own, the place would have been raucous in a way that I'm not sure I would have ever seen for a player that far down the depth chart. I'm trying to think of the last time the Grizzlies had one of those on the roster. And Ahmed Haddadi? Right? Like, I remember fans wanting to see Haddadi get in the game, just because he was a fun person who interacted with fans on social media and things like that. And I don't think surprisingly, we don't make a lot of those types of players in the NBA. Like, Taco Fall is a great example, where he stands up off of the bench and the city of Boston is electric. They just erupt with excitement. Bol. Is he one of those?
He was for a hot second.
Really?
Like, when he was in Denver, I feel like people constantly were craving for Bol minutes.
Because I think they thought Bol was going to be good.
Okay, so you're designating it as if you are being asked to be a legitimate contributor on this team, it does not put you in the same category as somebody who is playing with house money and the fans caring part.
Yes.
I get that.
Absolutely.
Yes. Like, Yuki doesn't need, that's why he didn't not meet expectations. Just getting on the court makes everybody experience wild amounts of joy.
Taylor Jenkins, if you're listening, which you are, he's a big fan of the show, maybe.
They hear everything. Did you hear Ja after?
No. They hear everything?
They see everything.
Good.
It was a testament to Grizzlies Twitter, because Ja said, shout out Grizzlies Twitter, I probably wouldn't have played. He was questionable going into the game. He's dealing with, small injury. He took that hard fall in the Rockets game, for one thing. He also had the ankle thing going on in the preseason. But he said, shout out Grizz Twitter. And then he asked Grizz Twitter to stay positive. Because it can affect guys' confidence.
Good luck. We're already in
Grizz Twitter's out of control. You're all out of control.
That's what fans do.
That's what fans are.
But since they see everything and hear everything, Taylor Jenkins in a 20-point game, 3 minutes left, that's Yuki time, dog. 20 points out of the way.
By God.
That's Yuki time.
That's Yuki Kawamura's music.
Put Yuki in.
Every time.
We need Yuki music. I don't know what songs he rocks with, but get Yuki
we need a song.
We need a Yuki song that we play up 20 points, down 20 points, at home, doesn't matter. Hit the Yuki music, and Yuki just stands up, takes the robe off, and comes on the court. Doesn't even need to check in. He just steps onto the court and pulls somebody out.
And then one of these days, he is going to score. It's going to be a beautiful
buy your season tickets, by the way, and buy tickets for tonight's game.
Great crowd.
I want to be there.
Home openers are always good energy, but like that energy was top
It
notch.
had been a while since FedEx Forum felt like that. I wanted to be there for Yuki's first bucket.
Me too.
I need to be there for Yuki's first bucket.
Get your tickets because you never know what night it could happen. So if you want to be there, you got to do it. It was nice. Also, I don't feel like we've made nearly enough of getting Jaren Jackson Jr. back and just the importance of that for this team. He is such a difference maker. Team high plus 26 in the win over the Magic. And to immediately see Jaren go back, and we started to see this last season. We started to see it over the last 2 seasons, but the continued offensive aggressiveness from Jaren and the understanding that he is a walking mismatch so often in this league is real good stuff. Like he, within opening minutes of the game, goes right at Paolo Banchero, has a nice finish over him. He went right at Wagner a couple of times. He just changes tonally what the Grizzlies can do. And you mentioned the lineup that they rolled with Jaren, Huff, and Santi Aldama. I love that. Like I love the thought of Santi Aldama at the 3 with 2 bigs in Jaren and Huff in this situation right now. Maybe down the road, you're getting some of the extended Zach Edey minutes, but I do like. At the core of that, though, is just Jaren being able to be back at the 4, which is where he is the most comfortable, and both from the defensive side of things and offensively, it was just real good to see him out there.
The Magic had started to out-physical the Grizzlies in that third quarter, which is what the Rockets did.
Yeah, Taylor Jenkins said they got punked.
Well,
and that was being nice.
They might be kind of punkable right now, and I feel like Taylor Jenkins, as a coach, made a really interesting and a good adjustment. Say, hey, you know what? We're not going to do that this game. We're going to try something. If that means we're throwing 2 centers and a power forward and Jake LaRavia out there on the court, then damn it, that's what we're going to do because we're going to stop getting pushed around. We cannot continue to be pushed around. We don't want the memo to go out across the league. Hey, the Grizzlies are good, but if you out physical them, then you got a good chance of winning. We don't want that to be the MO for teams around the league. So boom, let's just throw these dudes out there and see what happens in game 3. And it was really, really successful. And part of why it was successful, not just Jaren getting back to the 4 and just being able to be more active on the defensive side. Think about that. You in Huff and Jaren, you've got 2 defensive players of the year. Huff in the G League, Jaren in the NBA, but still 2 defensive players of the year, 2 players that are all NBA defensive caliber protecting your rim. You throw Santi's linked out there along with Jake LaRavia's linked in athleticism. I feel like that was pretty damn impressive what Jake was able to do. I'm not sure what his box score will say, but I know in that lineup, he did a really good job of keeping the opponents in front of him while also getting in help side and rebound.
I was going to say rebounding. It's 7 rebounds, which is the most important thing that he contributed because the Grizzlies just have to rebound the ball better. My God. Like, Jaren had 4. I would love to see him get more rebounds. Evergreen rebound desire for Jaren Jackson Jr. They won the rebounding battle by 1, 42-41. They got destroyed on the boards by the Rockets, and that goes into the physicality part of it that Taylor Jenkins talked about after the game. Tonight against the Bulls, that's something that I would really like to see be better. This feels like it could be a massive Jaren Jackson Jr. game. Outside of Vucevic, Jaren has the size edge. I feel like this is a matchup-wise that he could really take advantage of tonight. The Bulls are 1-2. They lost to the Thunder over the weekend. It was the Caruso return game to Chicago and Josh Giddey facing his former team in the Thunder. Zach LaVine's been awesome. As expected, they have shooters in LaVine, Kobe White. Lonzo Ball's supposed to play tonight, which I'm excited. Like, in terms of just things to have the opportunity to see, I don't think we're ever going to see Lonzo Ball play basketball again. Like, goes nearly 3 years, has all the knee problems. He's played in 2 of the Bulls' 3 games this season, coming off the bench. He played 13 minutes in their opening loss to the Pelicans, 15 against the Thunder. But just what he could be for this Bulls team and just the fact that he's on the court is good stuff. But from a Grizzlies perspective, if you were able to get a win tonight and start 3-1 on the season, math. You see. What is 2 + 1? 3.
We got to work with you on math, man.
It's
you
early.
You didn't play number munchers as a kid in this show.
Not enough.
It shows.
I did too many word games.
It shows.
I played way too many word games
But they
and
go
not
3
enough
and-
numbers.
start the season 3-1.
Anyway, 3-1 would be a symbol of taking advantage of an early season schedule that allows you to stack up some wins here as you are still figuring things out, right? Like, yes, it's a bummer that you dropped the game to the Rockets, and the Rockets have been off to a slow start. Dylan Brooks got into it with Victor Wembanyama in their game against the Spurs. The Spurs and the Rockets are having a like fever sun moment to start the year. I think they play each other 3 times in the first 12 days of the season, and now there will be some extra energy between Dylan Brooks and the San Antonio Spurs. In the words of Jeremy Sohan, he's a little crazy. You saw it. Dylan Brooks just trying to get a jump ball with Victor Wembanyama and never letting go. He was inspired by Titanic. Never let go. Dylan Brooks said as he comes around and says, "That's mine."
As whatchamacallit,
And then
let
just
go.
holds on to it. And this popped up on my timeline as I was watching the Grizzlies game here. I was like, "Oh, that's so Dylan." He
That's good stuff.
gave a little jaw love tap in the region on Friday.
Listen, man, he's a serial nut toucher. And we got to stop that. He's not.
Don't say a toucher.
I'm sorry.
Wanna
Does
know
he
what
not
word-
touch nuts?
I was gonna say nut thumper, but that sounds even worse.
I mean, call him what you want. Nut thumper, nut toucher,
Cruncher.
nut puncher, cruncher, whatever it is. He finds your testicles and he hits you in the nuts.
Yeah.
That's where he hits you. So we got to step in there and stop
Really,
that.
it gets a little spicy.
Yeah,
with
I like
Victor
that.
Wembanyama.
I like that.
I-
Don't let go of the ball. Have you ever done that? I did that once. It's exhilarating.
Yes,
in
it
like
is.
a competitive game.
Yes.
It was a rival game. It was NBA versus Father Ron. Get a jump ball and just refuse to let it go and just walk the dude down to the bench. Refs get involved. Oh, it's great. It's great. Do more of that, Dylan. Less of the nut touching. Stop that shit.
Okay, no, that stuff's lame too.
What is?
Going that long with it?
Yes,
in
no,
an NBA game.
No, hold on to it. Don't let it go. Make somebody step in here and pull you off of it. Not off of the nuts, Dylan. Off of the ball, the basketball, not the other balls. Stop touching those.
We will see if the Grizzlies can get another win tonight. Then they have the Nets and the Bucks here at home. One thing from the NBA that really stood out.
Hey, wait, before you go to the rest of the NBA, any concern about Edey?
I've said this once. I will say it
Maybe
twice.
4 games
I will say
tonight.
it. Talk to me after 20 games.
Gotcha.
Talk to me after the first 20 games of Zach Edey's career, and I will feel more definitive in his fit. Listen, is it a slower start than anybody wanted for Zach Edey? Sure, but I think he has the opportunity, and because of what we laid out in the first segment, there's not this intense, we need you to be great right now because of Jay Huff. Like, he has now opened a window that allows Zach Edey to take a bit more time because Brandon Clark has struggled too. So in terms of front court, Jay Huff is masking a lot of front court struggles for the Memphis Grizzlies right now, which is good. That means you have depth. That means, like, when Taylor Jenkins talking about rotations and figuring out not just pecking order of wings as you continue to wait for Vince and Gigi to come back, but big pecking order as well, having the play of Jay Huff stand out, and he's, everyone's taking notice of Jay Huff at this point. Like, coming out of the weekend, if you had to say, like, the biggest surprise player in the NBA this year, I think some people would give the vote to Jay Huff. And having had the experience with both the Nuggets and the Lakers and them allowing him to not be a part of their organizations and the Grizzlies getting him is huge for the Grizzlies. But for Zach Edey, I want to see more of him and Jaren, and because he gets in foul trouble early, it's taking the rhythmic opportunities away from that.
You're telling me the Grizzlies have drafted a big man who doesn't rebound particularly well and gets into foul trouble? They would never do that.
You're such a punk.
What?
Give it time.
Okay.
Yes, Zach Edey, 1 rebound in the box score on Saturday. Is that good? No. Do I think it can get much better and
Absolutely.
quickly? Yes.
Yes. I agree.
I was going to give just a little love to LeBron James.
For what?
For what?
For what?
For what?
Is this LeBron James Media Studios?
Yeah, it is,
Zoom in
actually.
over there. Does that say LeBron James Media?
Yeah, right above.
No. That says Grind City.
That
Why
was
are we
the one
talking
other
about-
game that I really watched
Oh, okay.
over the weekend because the Lakers came back and beat the Kings and LeBron went absolutely nuts in the fourth quarter of that game and had a 32-point, 14-rebound, 10-assist, triple-double. He is 39 years old. He is in his 22nd season. He scored 16 points in 3 minutes at one point for the Lakers. And I just found myself shaking my head like, he's at it again.
He could take over a quarter.
Yes, he still can.
He can, maybe not a game.
But a quarter.
But a quarter, he can get you a quarter.
And if you're playing the Kings, a quarter can get you.
Yeah.
So Lakers got the win over the Kings in that one. We will continue to talk about the NBA throughout the rest of the week. This is when you start seeing trends for certain teams. And we have a good number of games tonight, including Grizzlies Bulls right here at FedEx Forum. Get your tickets if you have not. Also, reminder, I remembered, the new Grind City Media warm-up show with Lang Whitaker and Mike Wallace is each and every Grizzlies home game 1 hour before tip-off, streaming on the Grind City Media app, on YouTube, and on Twitter/X. We had the first one on Saturday. I joined them in the second segment, determine who the main character of that night's game is going to be, but it's a good time. Make sure you are checking it out to get you ready for the night's action. Gary Parrish is going to join us on the other side. We'll talk to him about his Memphis Tigers won another football game. His Memphis Tigers basketball team plays another exhibition game tonight. We'll get his take on the Grizzlies so far coming out of the weekend. Plus, we have to talk a little bit about the World Series. It was awesome. I watched more innings to add to our inning counter. We'll get into it when we come back.
Exciting return of Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party at FedEx Forum. Don't miss the world premiere of Scalosaurus. Watch your favorite Hot Wheels Monster Trucks light up the floor, including Gungster, Bone Shaker, and the legendary Bigfoot. Plus the dazzling dance party, laser light show, and more. And save up to 50% on kids' tickets. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind Hot Wheels experience at FedEx Forum, November 2nd and 3rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up JustinTimberlake.com.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
There's no substitute for experience, the knowledge gained from having been there before, and the passion to share what you know to make everyone around you better. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Somebody else we have not seen in a long time is Morant. Since you've seen him, does he look any different to you, or is this the same superstar Ja that we were used to?
He's always getting better, so you just got to watch out for that. That's.
And it's a revenge tour. Yeah. It's a revenge tour, like hey, the world's forgotten about me. And
I don't think they forgot.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
One of the things I really do like about the history of the Memphis Grizzlies is that we have people who have moved here and stayed here. I like how much some of those guys have not only made millions here and won games here, but spent real time here and raise children here.
Yes.
And become a real part of the community.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
John Cena was spilling life lessons on this stream, bro. So the best thing I watched all week, John Cena on the Cassinet stream. By the way, he stole your hairdo. You got to make a phone call.
I was about to say, you showed me a little bit of this clip because I saw the messy room, and the only thing I could see is John Cena's hair. I mean, come on, bro.
He stole your bar.
It's
he stole
literally identical.
He stole your flow, bar for bar, word for word.
How is mine more gray than his, though?
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back. It is Monday. That means it is time for us to catch up with Gary Parrish, host of the Gary Parrish Show, weekday mornings at 10 a.m. on Grind City Media. GP, happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you.
Did you come to the game on Saturday?
I did not. We had youth baseball in Oxford, Mississippi.
Did you win?
Not as much as we'd have liked.
That's tough.
Yeah, you know. We look more like the Grizzlies against the Rockets than the Grizzlies against the Magic.
Let's send a focus into this week that we all look more like the Grizzlies against the Magic than the Grizzlies against the Rockets. I know. I was like, let me go on a little bit of a. You had to deal with some traffic issues on the way in.
Yeah, I drop my little guys off at school right around 8:10, 8:05, 8:10, sometimes 8:14 if we're pushing it, and then. Everything on Monday has to go pretty perfectly for me to get here on time. And this morning it didn't.
It didn't.
Accident on the interstate. Looked like a minivan.
That'll get you.
Yeah.
That's tough.
But you know what? My morning, less complicated than theirs because they're the one that needed a tow truck and I just needed to be frustrated.
It happens. But I did to you what Eric Hasseltine always does to me and then has to apologize for it after Grizzlies games because with like 3 minutes left in the game, I go down to the court.
Right.
There's a win now, do the little walk-off interview, but do the Grind City Media rewind with Lang, which I started doing for the last 2 years. But so then you do the rewind, and I have to bolt back up to where the radio is to do my post-game show on the radio. So Eric is filling time until I can get up there. And I
do it for Vernon every Tuesday.
Running up the stairs. So we're at an incline, and I'm Jay Huffing out here. And I'll get up there, and he goes, well, Jess, what are your thoughts? And I'm like, well, I think the Grizzlies.
Yeah, for people who don't know, we're on the 4th floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I run up the stairs every day. Do you take the stairs or the elevator?
I take the stairs. I'm back to taking the stairs. I was always a stairs person, and then after I tore my Achilles, I got into the habit of taking the elevator, and I stayed in that habit for a minute. But sometimes the elevators aren't the most trustworthy things in the world, and so then I reverted back. I got stuck in the elevator with Lang one day, and from that point forward, I decided to start taking the stairs as much as possible.
That would do it.
But I do enjoy it. I'm really big on my steps. Like I'm obsessive with getting 10,000 steps a day.
My Apple Watch is dead. Will not hold a charge anymore. I've got to go get it. I've got to get a new battery for it.
Oh no!
And that requires me to like do something.
Go to the Apple
It's just
store.
tough. I don't have time to do that, or I think I don't have time. So I'm Apple Watchless, and I'm really struggling with my step. I'm motivated by my watch. Does your watch motivate you?
I don't have a watch.
How do you keep track
I
of
just
stuff?
keep it on my phone.
Okay.
Like when I'm on runs, I
Yeah.
carry my phone.
Okay.
Or when I'm on the treadmill at home, I
See, I don't carry
constantly
my
have
phone around with
in
me
hand,
all the time.
But I only do it. I really want an Aura ring. Like fingers crossed. I think I might be getting one for Christmas.
Oh.
But I want one partially because I'm obsessed with. Like it's a problem.
Right.
Like we're training for this. By we, my husband and I are training for a half marathon right now. We're doing the St. Jude half marathon, and I love it on long run days because we'll hit like 20,000 steps now.
Feel real good about yourself.
And I feel but that's so stupid.
It is very
Like, it's also
stupid,
dumb.
but it's also very real.
Yeah.
Like feelings are a real thing. And when I see my
Thank
watch
you.
being proud of me,
Then you're proud of you.
it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
And so I don't feel as well without my watch, as weird as that sounds.
It is weird.
But I am, like, I'm motivated. I actually think it helps. I tell people all the time when they're thinking about getting, this isn't an Apple Watch promotion, but if you're thinking about it, it will actually motivate you because it's looking at you all the time. It's telling you what you're doing. It will actually say, hey, you're not doing so great today. It will say stuff like that. Hey, like you're not off to the best start. or you are off to the best start. And without
if I take the stairs in the morning, it would tell me I'm off to a better start.
Oh, it loves me
than
on the stairs. It
alternative.
loves me when I'm playing golf because it sees me walking around a lot. It's like, man, you really are getting after it today. I was like, no, I just sliced it. I just got a long walk over there. So I'm motivated by those things. I think they're helpful.
I was excited because I know I'm going to get a lot of steps tonight. I was able to snag one of the miraculous yellow parking spots for Grizzlies game
Look at
days
you.
because I don't have anything in the afternoon, so I don't need my car, so I can walk home and then walk back for the game, and my car will be here at the end.
You and
so
Bennett,
I'm going to get my steps.
There's an unusual level of stress related to you and Bennett and parking.
Oh, we're so stressed every
Like y'all are
day.
stressed about it every day.
Yes. Oh, it's insane. I wake up and my day is affected by if I get a parking spot.
I know
or
it's not my place, but if
well, we have to have room for all of the wonderful fans who come to this great building to watch the Grizzlies play basketball.
I
so
care
if
more-
Bennett and I can give up, our stress-free parking lives to better the lives of 2 cars coming to watch.
No, I care more about you and Bennett than I do the random fans.
I appreciate you,
Yeah.
but I'm just excited because I am excited, and that's what struck me this morning. To come watch the Grizzlies play basketball tonight against the Chicago Bulls. It is a very busy week here with 3 games in 4 nights and coming off of another one over the weekend. So 4 and 6 here at home. And last season, if we had had 4 games and 6 nights at FedEx Forum, once we had established what last season was, it would have felt, frankly,
yucky,
horrible, yucky, daunting, ugh. And instead, I woke up and I was like, hell yeah, I get to go watch the Grizzlies tonight.
No, because the last thing we saw was fun.
Yeah.
Like what we saw over the weekend inside FedEx Forum was what made us create these high expectations and why they still exist. Because it's not just that they won a game. Whatever. A lot of teams win. They won a game. There's highlights. It's fun. You get the J Huff thing that's now becoming a real storyline, like an actual meaningful storyline. You get Yuki in the final minutes. It checked every box. Like that's the type of night and the type of team that people say, okay, now I want to go downtown. Now I want to go see those guys. When is the next home game? When's the next home game on a weekend? Like these are the things that was fun. Like season's not off to a perfect start. Perfect start would be undefeated, but it's off to an encouraging start.
And it was especially coming off of the Rockets game that was so discouraging to then bounce back with that performance. And yes, the third quarter existed. I have learned, don't say anything. I texted Chris. I was like, wow, this is so fun. I'm so excited. Grizzlies going to win. They're up 29. And I said, oh, I should never send anyone anything definitive about this team until they've played a third quarter. That's basketball.
It's a natural basketball thing that happens all the time.
Right. You did tweet about J Huff,
Yeah.
and you said that J Huff could have won 7 Wooden Awards
7.
if he had just gone and played at Purdue.
He didn't think it through. Now he did win a national championship at Virginia,
true.
so you can't have it all, I guess. But it's just interesting. These types of things do happen in the NBA every once in a while, and I know it's small sample size, like very small, but he is, reigning first year All G League and the G League Defensive Player of the Year, and sometimes I think it's especially true with NBA players who just aren't obvious or they have obvious shortcomings, right? You've got to have a coach who believes in you, who will just put you out there and let you play through the mistakes and play through the things you can't do. Like, there are certain franchises that should have never drafted Zach Edey because there are certain people who just would not believe in it. This franchise does believe in it. And they clearly saw something in J Huff that made them think, let's get him here and see what we got. And it's an incredible luxury to have somebody like that on your bench. Now, I want to be clear, we weren't talking about this 2 weeks ago because we didn't know it was this 2 weeks ago. And it might not end up being this, but it looks the part. And as you are, A, trying to compete for a Western Conference title, B, trying to do it with a rookie starting center, then having somebody like J Huff, who's, I guess, in year 4 now out of Virginia, bounced around a lot, but has played a lot and flourished in the G League. To have him able to come off your bench, just the way I can envision it, Zach Edey continues to be your starter. And if he is comfortable, out of foul trouble, impacting winning in whatever ways he can, ride it out. J Huff can sit over here for a little while. But if you see Zach pick up early fouls or get uncomfortable or get lost or just look, all right, hey, come sit down for a second. It's fine because now we got this guy. And I think you might end up seeing a lot of that. Zach Edey in your starting lineup, go look at the box score at the end. Jay Huff played 21 minutes, Zach Edey played 12. You
And
might
finished
start
the game.
You might start to see some of that, which is fine. It wouldn't be fine if Jay Huff didn't exist, but this version of Jay Huff is something that might end up being, an important piece on a Grizzlies team that, obviously has stars, but every good, great NBA team needs pieces, and he looks like he could be a piece.
And allows for Zach Edey to take some more time.
Of course.
Allows for someone like a Brandon Clark, who is still figuring
Just
out
takes
what
pressure
this
off of
season-
everybody.
Yeah.
It's like we got a guy we didn't even know. It's like finding $10 in your pocket. You pull them out of the dryer and you're like, oh, here's a $10 bill. I didn't know I had that. Jay Huff is like something you didn't know you had. I mean, obviously you knew you had him.
It's like when you reach into at the movie theater and you have popcorn and somehow a single M&M ended up in your popcorn.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how it happens,
Yeah.
but sometimes it does.
Yeah.
And I'll reach in. I'm like, that was a piece of chocolate.
It's like these little things.
Yeah, CJ. It happened to me the last time I was at the movies, and it was
Hold on,
great. I don't know where it came from.
No, you shouldn't have ate that.
Why?
What?
No.
I'm a proponent of you should eat an M&M.
I was in
where,
the
you ready for
dark.
this? Almost wherever you find it.
Thank you.
Where could you find an M&M that you wouldn't eat it?
In this studio on the floor by your feet right there.
If there was
right there.
There's one right here. You want it?
Here's the test. Here's the test. It's right there.
No,
CJ,
that's
knock
where
it
I
out.
draw the line.
See, knock it out.
Oh, there's hair on it.
It's fine.
You didn't eat
It's
it. It's in your
fine.
hand, and there was literally a piece of fluff on it.
Yeah, no. There's a green M&M.
Okay.
Are we gonna eat this? How did
No, it
M&M
might be
get-
Jay Huff. We might need him to go out and play some minutes for the
M&M
Grizzlies.
Get in your popcorn
I
container.
don't know. Don't ask
You pour it in there.
questions.
People do that. You don't do that?
Yeah, I usually mix it like I'm like taking an M&M.
When did that
and then
become a thing? I don't remember that ever being a thing. And then one weekend, I was at the movies with my family. And next thing you know, people pouring M&Ms and popcorn. I'm like, I've never seen this before.
I do think during 2020, when people were making creations at home, it became very popular to make like salty sweet
think it's been-
combos.
it's been
But I think
before
it's been
that.
around. Like I've done that far before that.
was
But in
dumb
terms
when
of
I worked at
physically, like pouring it into the popcorn and then making.
I've never
it
seen somebody do
a
that
mash.
until
Really?
deep in my adult life.
Oh, I used to always do that.
I understand like peanuts and M&Ms, like trail mix and those
Yeah.
kind of things. I love that.
Yeah.
Big fan of that. But I never seen anybody actually walk to the counter and say, I need popcorn and put some butter in it. And I also need some plain M&Ms. Is that what you do it with? Could you do
I
either?
it. You can do it with either.
Okay, then and then just dump
you
them
can do it
and
with
then
Reese's
and then mix them like it's a vodka soda or something. I never seen nobody do that before.
Yeah, it's exactly the same.
It's
thing.
exactly like mixing a vodka. It's like you make a vodka. It's combining ingredients. That's what I mean.
It's a concoction.
You do that. You enjoy that.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
against it.
absolutely do.
I'm
Back
not
on the
against it.
M&M. You don't know how the M&M got it. So this isn't one of those
Yeah.
situations.
No, she
though,
poured them
Gary.
in there.
Did you pour the M&Ms
Of course
in
you
there?
did.
I think no, we didn't pour them in, but I think maybe Chris accidentally
Fumbled.
trickled one. Yeah, fumbled.
Okay. Yeah.
Fumbled
Gotcha.
the M&M
Okay.
into the popcorn, and then it was there, and it was a surprise.
Yeah.
And just like Jay Huff throwing down reverse dunks for the Grizzlies, I was like,
I
this
run into
works.
these sometimes. Every once in a while, we have candy laying around.
Yeah.
Do you guys buy Halloween candy early?
We don't buy Halloween candy, period.
You're so smart. Somehow, I live with people who think that you have to have Halloween candy early. Like on October
No,
11th.
we just house sat for someone who had a giant bucket of Halloween.
Do you know
candy
what
out
happens to
early.
Halloween candy?
You eat it,
Yeah,
which is what we did as we sat.
Just walking around
at
eating
this
Twixes
house.
all day long. I mean,
I have a Kit
I've
Kat in my
had
bag
11
right now.
Twixes over the weekend. I don't even like Twixes.
I love Twix.
I'm
Please,
not
don't
against it,
disrespect Twix.
but like, I live with people and they buy Halloween. It's like, hey, we got our Halloween
Yeah.
candy. No, we're just gonna eat that. And then on Halloween,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to go to Walgreens and buy all new Halloween candy because you just ate 40 pounds of Butterfinger. All right. But still, like I'm not the one who goes out and does. I don't create this issue.
Mm-hmm.
But once it's in front of me, I'm like a drug addict with drugs. It's like I got to take a Twix. And so every once in a while, I'll walk by and I'll get like maybe a little mini Kit Kat, and I'll throw one in the freezer. I like to get them cold.
I love candy in the
And
freezer.
every once in a while,
candy,
I'll-
Girl Scout cookies, those are things that are meant to be frozen.
Every once in a while, I'll open up the freezer, and just like you find that M&M
Yeah.
in that pot, I'll forget that I even hit a Kit Kat, and I'll see I'll see it hiding over there, and I'll be like, "Holy shit! There's a frozen Kit Kat right here."
Do you ever have
like a little
accidental
surprise.
pocket candy? Like you put something in your pocket,
Yeah.
and then you find it.
Uh-huh.
That's great too.
Same thing. Surprises are fun,
Surprise.
CJ. That's
Hey,
what we're trying to
speaking of
say.
Surprises.
Surprises
can
are
we
fun.
hit you with a surprise?
You're gonna surprise me?
Can you stay for the next
Sure.
segment? All right, because we have to take our break.
Yeah, I
to
know.
get our
I know.
breaks
Trust
in.
me, I know all about these
we got to
breaks.
get our break in, and then we can come back. And I did want to ask you, Memphis Tigers had a big football win.
They sure
over the
did.
weekend. Memphis basketball plays another exhibition game. Some World Series action.
Yep.
We'll get into all of it. We'll be back on
I'll
the
be
other
here.
side. Gary will still be here.
much have you added weight since your rookie year?
Bro, I think I was like 220?
Rookie, you were
40 pounds.
You
I'm
were
like 265.
You 265 right now?
In between that and like 273, I'm floating in there.
What? You have looked at a scale and it said 273.
With shoes on, but still.
Too little.
That's not phone posits either, right?
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
One of the things I really do like about the history of the Memphis Grizzlies is that we have people who have moved here and stayed here. I like how much some of those guys have not only made millions here and won games here, but spent real time here and raised children here.
Yes.
And become a real part of the community.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The three big beats this week. One was root for points in honor of John Roser. How about that Miami-Louisville game?
Good
Crushed
grief.
the over, which was 60. Finished with 97 total points, 52-45. Meanwhile, the Academy's covering again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done.
This.
Army, best start since 96.
America.
Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
If I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
Yellow lace is really bright yellow primary color. You got black on the trim and on the edges.
I gotta get 'em.
And you got some red there as well. Look at that right there, Mike. Look at that right there.
Man, look at that G. Look at that G, boy. That G is moving strong right there, too, man.
Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Welcome back, Gary Parrish. Still with us on this Monday. We get Grizzlies Bowls tonight at FedEx Forum. Over the weekend on Saturday, we had both the Grizzlies home opener and the Memphis Tigers had an 11 a.m. football game against Charlotte. It also rained on Saturday afternoon, which was not helpful for the overall crowd shots at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium. But the Memphis Tigers beat Charlotte 7-1. Something stood out to me while watching this game, Gary, because we had talked on your show on Friday about this Tigers team winning games, still technically being in a position where they could sneak their way in to the college football playoff. It is unlikely. The odds are small.
Sure.
However, they technically could, and they will be going to a bowl game for an 11th straight season, and yet it looks pretty empty.
Right.
During the game, the broadcast said if Charlotte pulls off this upset, it would be the biggest win in Charlotte football history.
Yikes.
And I thought to myself, that's it.
Uh-huh.
And we've talked about, I don't have to belabor the point, but most people did not want to go watch Memphis play Charlotte at 11 a.m. on a partially rainy afternoon in Memphis. And that is a reality that this team and this program is going to have to figure out a way to get butts in seats for games like that, because you can't sell it just on the game itself.
I don't know what they can do.
I don't either. CJ, you were there, right?
Yeah.
How was it?
It was great. It was incredible.
No, yeah, that's my experience, by the way, too. Every time I
Every
go, I have a good time.
You have a great time.
But you got to make me want to go.
The crowd was a crowd there. The issue is, Like, there's only so much you can do with your fans. You've got to get the opposing team to bring something. Charlotte didn't bring a band. Charlotte didn't bring a cheerleader. Charlotte brought no fans. I looked in that crowd, and there was no fans. So whatever you saw there, it was all Memphis. And nobody's stadium is packed when it's just their fans. The opposing team does have to bring fans through. And you're not getting that if you're Memphis with anybody coming into town.
You're getting none. And in stark contrast, and like it's so unfair to compare the American and the SEC, even for the nature of this argument. But we were walking down Front Street on Friday night, and all of a sudden I hear OKLAHOMA. And I'm like, who's playing Oklahoma? Oh, it's the Oklahoma Pep Band. And there were suddenly dozens of people with Oklahoma credentials on. And I was like, why is Oklahoma having an event in Memphis? And I looked up, I was like, is it the Memphis women's soccer team? And shout out to the Memphis women's soccer team for wrapping up what looks like another AAC regular season title.
1 seed.
I was like, did they play Oklahoma? No. Duh, Oklahoma's playing Ole Miss, and they were in Memphis the night before. And even just watching that game the next day, it's like Oklahoma's 4-3 and by no means competing for the SEC this year, but their fans are still going to go for a day at the Grove.
To your point, my wife had friends spend the night with us on Friday night who are Oklahoma. One of them was an Oklahoma fan from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And, they were going to the game. Yeah, you can't compare the AAC to the SEC, but you can just take a snapshot of reality and recognize that this is not – it'd be one thing if Memphis sucked. They're good. They have the winningest quarterback in history.
He just set the record with that last touchdown, and hell of a grab by Rock Taylor. They did get lucky. Let me be perfectly clear.
Yeah, they had to pull that out.
They played to lose, and then they managed to pull out a win.
Right, but this team is good, and nobody cares. To me, that's the biggest problem.
Right.
You can always imagine what it'll be like if you get good. Like Tony Bennett referenced this at his retirement press conference. He said the first 2 weeks he got the job at Virginia, Dave Matthews Band played there, and they sold out John Paul Jones Arena. And he was like, man, this is what it looks like. Can we get it here someday? We haven't had this yet, but can we get it here? So you're imagining what it'll look like. That's not the issue at Memphis. They're not trying to imagine what will it be like if we have a good football team. You got one, and this is what it looks like because nobody cares. It's why I will never not believe that they weren't short-sighted in not having a bigger imagination about how to handle this new Pac-12 thing. Because they just sort of out of hand said, it's too expensive, we can't do it. Okay, I would have thought about it a little bit longer because until the next thing comes around, who knows when that's going to be, this is what you are. Right now, you've got one of the best football teams in your league. Nobody cares. You have, at least in the computers, the highest rated basketball team in your league. Nobody really cares. That's a real problem that I do not think – I hope they recognize it now because there's more evidence to support it. I don't think they properly recognized it when the whole Pac-12 thing was going down because it should not have been as easy as the decision for them as they said it was.
That basketball team plays another exhibition game against a good opponent. They take on Alabama tonight.
Maybe the best opponent.
Maybe the best opponent. Where's Alabama in your top 25 and 1? 2?
I've got Kansas
Just
1, Alabama
Kansas.
2, but other people have Alabama 1. They're the clear favorite in the SEC. They've got the CBS Sports preseason National Player of the Year in Mark Sears. They went to their first ever Final Four last season, and they could do back-to-back, win a national title this year. It's interesting. In the first, over about a month span, maybe a little more, Memphis isn't going to end up playing North Carolina, Alabama, and we know for sure UConn. Those are 3 top 5 teams in my top 25 and 1. So I don't know. I don't put much stock into exhibitions.
Hey, USC beat Gonzaga over the weekend in an exhibition game.
I'm sure that means everything. You don't even know who's playing.
Raise the banner.
The best players often aren't playing. Like Kansas lost the other night to Arkansas, preseason number 1. Well, Hunter Dickinson didn't play. Another starter didn't play. Another rotation player didn't play. You heard Penny after the... Hunter Dickinson?
He's still around?
He's still around, baby. Year 5.
It's only year 5.
Only year 5. It feels like more. It's only year 5. It's only year 5. It is interesting because he's been an All-American level guy since his freshman year, and now he's doing 5 years of that. So he will leave college basketball as one of the top 20, 30 scorers in the history of the sport and all that stuff.
Only year 5.
Only year 5. I know it feels like more.
I feel feel like he was running around with Trey Burke at Michigan.
He might have been. He might have been. I think they maybe missed each other
by a year,
maybe, but like
or two.
Not too much. So I don't put too much.
Isn't it weird though that we now sit in this place where we have these players like a Hunter Dickinson, and it's been 5 years, but it takes away from the old joke like Perry Ellis lived forever.
Like we all know Perry
I'm just
Ellis,
feeling like, but now we have multiple Perry Ellises every year, and yet we still revert to Perry Ellis is always him.
Because the Perry Ellis thing wasn't just that he was around all the time.
He looked like
he also
he had been
looked old.
around.
He also looked my age. Like that's why everybody. I knew what you were about to. Keep in mind, we're in Memphis.
You knew exactly where I was going.
We're not in the Kansas market. We're not. There's nothing about Perry Ellis that has anything to do with Memphis. But when you started talking about old basketball players, I knew exactly where you were going.
And everyone does.
And everybody does, right?
Even when you're talking about old football players, you reference Perry Ellis.
Yes.
Like that is just who he is. Is there anything Memphis can do tonight that particularly matters to you coming out of this exhibition game?
Don't get embarrassed.
Just don't get blown out.
Yeah, I don't even care about like win or lose. I don't want to say I don't care, but just don't make me put eyes on it and go, oh boy, thank God they're in the AAC, because if they had to play in a league with that team, they just don't have the athletes to keep up. And let me be clear, they don't need the athletes to keep up with that. They'll never play a team like Alabama again after Maui, all right? Or until the NCAA tournament. So, whatever. But I would like to see them. They looked, I know North Carolina's best player wasn't there, and Penny, by his own acknowledgement, wasn't really running their stuff. But they didn't look at a place against North Carolina. I would like for them not to look at a place against Alabama. Because Alabama, they did just beat Wake Forest pretty bad. With starters on the bench, beat Wake Forest by 20 plus in an exhibition recently. So they're good.
If they don't have a good night, it will be somewhat buried because it is a sports equinox day. We get Monday Night Football. We get Grizzlies Bowls at FedEx Forum along with other NBA games. We get NHL, and we get the World Series that continues today. I watched Game 1 of the World Series on Friday night, which was incredible. Very quickly remembered how easy it is to get sucked into the World Series, and watching that along with, I had it on two screens, Boise State UNLV on one side. I was unfortunately waiting for the USC Maryland game to start for some godforsaken reason. But being able to watch the last couple of innings and then into extras and to see the grand slam.
Right.
And as Joel Embiid said, a bases loaded grand slam. Jeez.
As opposed,
I was like, that's my favorite kind of grand slam as well.
You know what? I never get on because he's doing his best, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
I found it incredibly endearing. Here's somebody who probably hasn't watched a ton of baseball
or any,
and
certainly didn't grow up with it.
That moment,
Yeah.
and that is indicative of the best of the best within a World Series. You can't ask for more.
You can't, and
bases loaded grand slam.
It was a bases loaded grand slam. He's right. Technically, he's right.
Yeah, he wasn't wrong.
He's not wrong. I, as a baseball fan, because I know, this is how in the minority I am. I was yesterday afternoon. I had this thought. I was like, we're getting ready for Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
Niners, Cowboys. They're people love that. And I was like, man, I wish there was a baseball game tonight. I had that thought. I wish they weren't off tonight.
You get one tonight.
So as a baseball lover, I just appreciate when it feels like other people are focusing on baseball. And that's why I'm never offended by Dodgers, Yankees. I know some people would be like, big market.
I don't want to watch this.
I love, because it brings people in. I love Shohei there, Aaron Judge there. And then Freddie Freeman, who by all accounts is just an awesome everything. People in Atlanta still love him. For him to have that moment, and then to have that moment with his father, the whole thing was just
It was very sweet.
Just perfect.
The Dodgers are up 2-0.
Yeah.
My dad sent me World Series trivia because, like you, I think my dad was probably sad that there wasn't a baseball game last night, and he has been fully back into it. In 1981, World Series, Yankees-Dodgers. The Yankees won Game 1 and 2. Dodgers win 3, 4, and 5 back in LA, and then came to New York and won Game 6 and won the World Series.
I saw this.
Do you have that stat written? Down?
I've got some version of it right here. You triggered it. The last two times the Yankees and Dodgers met in the World Series, so it was 78 and 81.
Okay.
The home team won the first two games and then lost the next 4.
There you go. So it's not just 81 either.
It was 78 too, but just the opposite way.
Okay.
So anytime a team goes up 2-0, it feels like
it's over.
Because it's just a math thing. For it to go the other way, the other team now got to win 4 of the next 5. And it's hard to envision a team winning 4 of 5 after you just watched them lose 2 straight. That's where we're at. But these things flip around so quickly. Like if all it takes tonight is a Aaron Judge first inning homer, and then the Yankees are up 3-0, and then that stadium's going bananas, and then they win the game 7-2, and then it's like 2-1. Game 4 tomorrow night. The Yankees are favored, and we're back in it. It could go from right now we're talking about it feels over to tomorrow morning we're going, I think the Yankees are in control. It can happen quickly.
GP, thanks for joining us
Thanks
on
for
this Monday.
having me.
We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into all of the best things that happened from the weekend in football, including Jayden Daniels' ridiculous Hail Mary and the defensive oopsie on the side of the Chicago Bears. We'll get into college football as well. The Hot Mess Express still ahead. We'll be right back.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
At Southland Casino Hotel, it's time to work hard, play hard with our $500,000 giveaway. Earn entries October through November 9th and take home free play and amazing prizes on select Saturdays, including a big rig. Stay connected on social media for weekly drawing clues. Join us November 9th for the grand finale drawing where you could drive off in a four-wheeler, side-by-side, or big rig. Work hard and play harder at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Hot Wheels fans, don't miss the exciting return of Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party at FedEx Forum. Don't miss the world premiere of Scalosaurus. Watch your favorite Hot Wheels monster trucks light up the floor, including Gungster, Bone Shaker, and the legendary Bigfoot. Plus the dazzling dance party, laser light show, and more. And save up to 50% on kids' tickets. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind Hot Wheels experience at FedEx Forum, November 2nd and 3rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at LiveNation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up JustinTimberlake.com.
We have not talked to you since we got the big fella that's going to go next to you. What has impressed you about him, though? Just being on the same court with him, because you've watched him a lot in college. You got to see him. We got to see him very, very little in summer league.
Very quick twitch, like decision making. Yeah. No real fear of anything. Like very vocal, able to talk through the game. But I mean, like, dude won Player of the Year twice. Like
I know.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The three big beats this week. One was root for points in honor of John Roser. How about that Miami-Louisville game?
Good
Crushed
grief.
the over, which was 60. Finished with 97 total points, 52 to 45. Meanwhile, the Academy's covering again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done.
This.
Army, best start since 96.
America.
Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
John Cena was spilling life lessons on this stream, bro. So the best thing I watched all week, John Cena on the Cassinet stream. By the way, he stole your hairdo. You got to make a phone call.
I was about to say, you showed me a little bit of this clip because I saw the messy room, and the only thing I could see is John Cena's hair. I mean, come on, bro.
He stole your bar.
It's
he stole
literally identical.
He stole your flow, bar for bar, word for word.
How is mine more gray than his, though?
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back. Our chat question of the day was, what was the best thing you saw this weekend? Grizzlies home win and Yuki minutes taking 89% of the vote. And CJ, your other options in this were interesting choices, to say the least. Dodgers going up 2-0 on the Yankees with 9% of the vote. Then you put Bo Nix's 3 touchdown passes, and as the president...
You're a Bo Nix... This is a Bo Nix show.
Of the Bo Nix fan club.
This is a Bo Nix show.
He did it against the Panthers. They play the Ravens and the Chiefs next. I will withhold...
Bo Nix praise until
my
Ravens Chiefs.
Aggressive love of Bo Nix and coming for people who wrote him off perhaps a little too early, but he did it against the Panthers defense. And the Panthers are bad. Who's worse, the Panthers or the Titans?
Panthers.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Panthers. I don't even have to
Did you
think about
watch the Titans game against the Lions?
Granted. Titans are not a team I'm trying to watch anymore, so no.
The Titans should not be a team anyone is trying to watch. That first window yesterday was so good. It was like the end of the first window of NFL games hit like absolute crack on red zone. It was great game after great game. I don't know. That's why I started. That's why I started swallowing the words as I said. I was like, I don't know if I can say
like
that.
Something else. What else hit?
Because that's what I said in my household.
Hit like Mike Tyson. Hit like. Can we hit like Mike?
Let's just.
Hit like a train?
Those morning games, my point was going to be that the morning games were going to take like a big moment in the afternoon slate to elevate over all of the ends of those games. And Jayden Daniels' Hail Mary was just that. Like the moment of the weekend, hell, maybe the moment of the month was Jayden Daniels' Hail Mary win to Noah Brown in the Commanders-Bears game after the thought that he might not play on Sunday. He does, and to have nearly 13 seconds before he throws this absolute beautiful ball that gets conveniently tipped into the hands
man. What are you doing?
Of Noah Brown was perfect. Yes, you can ask a lot of what were you doing to the Bears defense. One, you're rushing 3?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Oh.
That's what you're supposed to do.
I know, but are you going to change what you're supposed to do? Because you're going to get in more situations like that. That's exactly what the Bills did to Aaron Rodgers, too.
Yeah, that's 3 with a spot. So are we changing that? You bringing 5?
I think so.
Okay, you bringing 5 and dropping 6?
You're not giving Jayden Daniels 13 seconds to get situated.
Down. Just bat it down. One person also, one person go for the ball and everybody else man up. Like, This is my guy who you're guarding him, you're guarding him. I go for the ball. I'm the one who's going for the ball. And that's how you do it. But all right, hindsight 2020.
Hindsight will also be 2020, I think, for a long time for Tyreek Stevenson, who had a real bad moment. And we'll get to Tyreek Stevenson. First, we'll watch Jayden Daniels and count your Mississippis before he launches the Hail Mary game winner. Yeah. So you see this, and you're like, oh my God, that's the best thing I saw all day, period, count it, whatever. And then you get the extras that come out of this play. Tyreek Stevenson of the Bears taunting Commanders fans, not even in the play when it first starts. He arrives like 4 seconds late to the play.
Well, good thing he's got 8 seconds left.
The Bears fans in that front row are like pointing, hey, the play started, and Tyreek Stevenson ends up being one of the players that tips it into the hands of Noah Brown. Just a brutal turn of events for Tyreek Stevenson, who can't taunt if the zeros aren't on the clock. It's not time to do that yet. And he just gets absolutely burned, crushed. I have way more Bears fans in my life than I ever really quite understand. And after a moment like that, that's all the group chats we're talking about. That's it.
That's hilarious.
But they also deserve to lose that game. Like, that was not a game, watching a good amount of it via Red Zone, but the Bears did not play well enough to win that game. Caleb Williams, I still think, really excited about what he can be, particularly his improvisation skills that he had in college. He is able to show those. That said, the Bears shouldn't have won that game, so it felt like the football gods coming in.
The Commanders have won?
Yeah. They played, they simply played better. Did they play great? No. Their offense is incredible. Considering what the score was, it doesn't look that way. They just couldn't finish drives, but their offense has been so good. One of the biggest surprises in the NFL this season has been their consistency. And at this point, you now have the Commanders, they're 6-2. They're going to hit the over of their win total projections by like the midway point, before the midway point of the season, more than likely, which is really, really impressive. I would say the Commanders are biggest surprise of the NFC, and I would say the Broncos are probably the biggest surprise of the AFC.
Surprise team talk caught me off guard.
I know. I didn't prep you for that. I'm sorry.
Trying to think, running through all the teams. Like, I know they're bad. I would go surprise team in the NFC is the Panthers. Didn't know they were going to be this bad.
Poor Bryce.
This is bad, and it's not Bryce Young. We
But
thought
he was bad yesterday.
We thought it was, but it's not like Andy Dalton has been anything better. That team is built in a really terrible way. It's going to take them a while to dig themselves out of this. In the AFC, I'm going with all the bad teams. I don't know why my mind is just so negative. I'm generally speaking a really positive person, but holy shit, the New York Football Jets.
Oh, that was part of that early window. The Jets lost to the Patriots. You fired your coach, and now you have lost 2 games that you were favored in.
Come on,
One
man.
of them to the Patriots.
We were
Aaron
talking about
Rodgers
this
has been in the
team.
darkness. And he will remain in the darkness the rest of the season.
Take more of the funny juice to make him hallucinate, and maybe he'll hallucinate and see a good team somewhere. I don't know.
The funny juice.
Yeah, the funny juice. I forget the name of the funny juice, but drink more of that. Yeah, those are my 2 right now. I guess good team. Absolutely the Commanders up there from a positive standpoint. I'm really surprised. With a rookie quarterback, I didn't think Daniels was going to be this immediately, but look at what he's able to do. And then another team led by another rookie quarterback, I would say the Bears are right up there. And just in general, the entire NFC North is I did not think, I thought that was Packers and that was it. But you look up and you see, even though the Vikings have lost 2 in a row, Vikings are still there. Lions are just thumping teams right now.
Jared Goff only had 80-something passing yards in that win over the Titans because that's all they needed.
And
they had a
dominated.
90. They had
real quick. The same Jared Goff who went 18 of 18.
Correct.
Like, this Lions team can win
in multiple ways.
A variety of different ways.
But I would also argue that this Titans team can lose in a variety of ways. And allowing both a 90-yard punt return for a touchdown and then a 72-yard punt return that set up a short field, like, that's why Jared Goff's passing numbers were on the lower side, because they didn't need that. The Titans were just stunk. On the bright side, Calvin Ridley got a lot of targets early on, and for those of us who might have scooped him up for fantasy football purposes, that was a nice thing
Surprised by
to
the Steelers.
see. Yeah, and we'll see how they play tonight against the Giants. I would expect a big
Steelers win
game.
tonight. Really surprised.
Yeah, I put them in that.
They'd be in the driver's seat for that division.
Yeah. The Packers getting that win over the Jags yesterday, I thought was really a testament to them being really well built, because they lost Jordan Love, Malik Willis comes in again, and it looked like Jacksonville was going to win that game. Like, in our household, we said, good for Trevor Lawrence and the Jags after the Evan Ingram, great catch with 3 defenders on him, puts the Jags up, and then it took 2 plays for the Packers to set themselves up for a game-winning field goal. So that went that way. I'll say the Cleveland Browns, just because of what happened with Deshaun Watson. Just the entirety of their season has been
a surprise.
A surprise how bad Deshaun was. And now you cannot make any lick of an argument that it wasn't all about their quarterback. being abysmally bad.
You can. It's one game.
I know, but to see how that offense looked, they have been such an unenjoyable team to watch. And not only was that a fun game to watch, to see them get an upset over the Ravens. Ravens had a big case of the dropsies throughout the day. And we've seen this from the Ravens before, where they will look like, oh, is this perhaps the best team in the NFL, and then come out and lay a bit of an egg. But from Jameis Winston before the game, his pregame comments that went hella viral, taking everyone to church, and then quoting Eminem in his postgame comments, the man delivers soundbite after soundbite. And in that moment, like, he gets the ball in his hands and you say, okay, can Jameis do it? And he does it. And they have what turns into a game-winning touchdown from Jameis Winston. He had over 300 yards. Deshaun Watson didn't have one single game in Cleveland where he threw for over 300 yards. And I think that speaks volumes. It was cool, too. If you go back and listen to the call on the end of that game, they gave credit to, what's their play-by-play guy who passed away over the weekend? I can't think of his name.
I can't remember his name, but I know you.
But it was the call was just really, really sweet, basically dedicating it to him, and it was a fun moment. Also, Myles Garrett showed up in a terrifying Terminator costume for that game. So just shout out to Myles Garrett, who continues to win Halloween year in and year out. Look at this.
Jim Donovan.
That's terrible. Thank you,
No
Jim
problem.
Donovan.
Can we do this? Like,
what are you asking? Can you do?
The mask. The mask specifically. Like, can you decide you want to go as Candyman and instead of painting your face black, just put on the black mask? Is that still blackface? Is this a loophole I'm asking?
Did you see some white college kid already might have ruined their... Yes, we have to make the announcement. Dear white people, Halloween is coming.
Oh, wait. Let me just say, I love white people.
Thank you.
I do. White people have contributed greatly. Many a great thing has been contributed by the white man. I do enjoy me a good, great white man.
Mm-hmm.
This is a PSA for all of you. Go ahead, Jessica, if you want to chime in here.
Don't
Halloween
do
is coming.
blackface.
Halloween is here.
Do you think it's funny? It's not. Do you think it's clever? It's not. Do you think it's different? It's not. Man who decided to dress up as Diddy for Halloween with his
Interesting
partner going
Baby
as a
oil?
bottle of baby oil.
Okay, I got it. Couple costume. Okay.
You think the couple costume erases it? It doesn't. Are you going to put black paint on your face this Halloween? Don't. This has been
Come on, white
your
people.
PSA. It's really not that hard. It's 2024.
White
It's
people,
really
hard
not that hard.
Hard hands.
I cannot believe they're still doing this. Someone
They-
put the tweet
y'all.
out. Sorry, I'm sorry. My people are still doing this. Could you be any dumber? But I don't know what the mask would do. That's a good question.
So if he was in a Diddy mask, would that...
Is that different?
Is that different somehow?
Yeah, but he seems like the kind of guy who then would like paint his hands.
Yeah,
He was in long sleeves, and so then like he'd be like, "Oh, I got to make it a whole costume." And I'm glad my voice sounded like that because that's how I assume
That's how
he
he
sounds like. What a loser. Anything else from the NFL that stood out to you?
Nah.
The Cardinals went over the Dolphins. It was a fun win for the Cardinals and sad for Tua Tagovailoa's comeback on that. Chiefs are 7-0. They're boring me. I'm bored by the Chiefs. Bills are 6-2.
You're
Bills
bored
have
by
at least a 6.5 game lead on every other team in the AFC East.
You're bored by
By the Chiefs? Yeah, I'm bored.
The Chiefs.
Yawn.
Patrick Mahomes is
I know.
being
I didn't think we'd get here.
Carried by that defense right now, and that's boring.
Travis Kelce finally had a big game. Oh, it was National Tight Ends Day, and I thought
He had
they
a couple
leaned
of big games.
they
Don't
leaned
say
into the
finally.
script. Yeah, but like a real big game.
What do you mean a real big game? Was it? Has it? I feel like Travis Kelce the past 3 weeks. I feel like has had
Maybe
big
2.
games when all the receivers went down.
Last night, he was 10 receptions for 90 yards and a touchdown.
Mm-hmm. That's a good game.
And he was timely receptions for Travis Kelce, I should say. But it was that way for all tight ends yesterday. I did think they leaned a little too heavily into like if they want us to believe that these things are not written, that it's Natasha Bedingfield, the rest is still unwritten. You can't have the tight ends just dominate all day on National Tight End Day. And that is what they did. It tied the most receptions of tight ends across the NFL in the history of the NFL. They had 16 touchdowns. They had 2 times more touchdowns yesterday than all the tight ends had the rest of the season. At the beginning of the day, they're like, "Oh, I hope we get some highlights from the tight ends today." And then it was like tight end after tight end after tight end. There's a lot of tight end action.
I love a tight end.
College football from the weekend. Obviously talked about the Memphis win with Gary. I will say, juxtaposed on watching Memphis-Charlotte, it was a bit of a... Is it fair to call Saturday a boring day in college football?
No.
Overarchingly?
How many games need to be interesting for it to be boring?
I was having this argument in my head.
Because if you give me 4 of them, then no. Notre Dame beating the hell out of Navy.
But it wasn't a good. But it wasn't a good game.
I don't care. What do you mean? It wasn't a close game. It was
a
absolutely
boring
a good game.
Yeah. Fine. To each his own.
Yeah. Give me that. Give me Texas A&M LSU.
I would put that one as definitively
give
entertaining.
Me that there. Not a close game. I enjoyed Alabama, Missouri. Give me that.
Okay.
I also enjoyed Michigan doing what they do against Michigan State. Little brother always gonna be little brother. Stop that little brother shit, man. Grow up. That one was great.
The SMU Duke game was entertaining.
Miami, Florida State. Miami beating the hell out of Florida State. Continuing to pile on Norvell.
You're proving my point.
Like, no.
They were all blowouts.
Yeah, that's because one team is really, really good, and the other team isn't. That doesn't mean it's not a good game to me. I don't need close football games to enjoy seeing a team getting the shit beat out of them.
Oregon absolutely destroyed Illinois. They were up 35-3 at halftime, and that was the last ranked team that Oregon will face this season. Oregon has...
They still got to play the Wolverines in the big house.
They have Michigan at the big house next weekend.
Right they do.
They have Maryland at home. They have Wisconsin on the road. And then they finish with Washington at home. Things are aligned.
Aligned how so? Can they lose that Michigan game and
they
still
can lose
get where
any
they
game.
wanna
This
go?
is the Big Ten. I'm not here to...
Can they lose the Michigan game and still get to where they want to get to? 'Cause there's a chance that could happen.
It looked like Ohio State might lose to Nebraska, but then they didn't.
They only won by 4.
I know.
That was a close game.
That targeting call was bad.
That was a close game.
It was.
So you got that one. You got Duke.
Listen, the Memphis-Charlotte game was unfortunately a very close game. They're not a fun team to watch, but at least it goes down to the wire.
Memphis got up 14, and we had other family obligations. It was like, okay, cool, let's skedaddle. And by the time I live in Orange Mound, I live around the corner from the stadium. By the time we got home, I was like, what the hell has happened? Why is this game so close all of a sudden? What happened? Tigers, get it together.
Why are you running it 3 times in a row? One, they don't have a kicker either, which is a problem. So you're not taking points. Yeah. Anyway, the other thing from the college football world, Travis Hunter continues to have just an incredible season. Colorado is bowl eligible. Huge for Deion Sanders in year 2 at Colorado. It has been an interesting conversation in the college football sphere. The fatigue factor with CU to not have the attention that it had last year when they were not a bowl eligible team. But this year, coming off a big win over the weekend, Travis Hunter within that game, 9 catches for 153 yards, 2 touchdowns, along with 2 tackles, 4 pass breakups. He played 130 snaps, 68 on offense, 62 on defense.
130 of 133.
Correct.
My
He only
man
took
was
3
off
off.
3 of the plays. That's incredible
That's
stuff.
incredible. I don't understand how Dylan Gabriel is your leader for
What you
Heisman
mean?
odds.
He's a quarterback on the best team.
I understand rationally, but spiritually, I don't understand how you can watch what Travis Hunter is doing. And as long as he continues to play and doesn't get hurt, knock on wood, fingers crossed, he's remarkable. And the same goes for Ashton Genty. Had a bit of a slow start against UNLV on Friday, but ultimately another 100-plus yard game for Genty, and Boise State wins. Big fourth quarter.
Are those your 1-2 Heisman Trophy race right now? If I said, give me
Genty
your 3.
and Hunter?
Give me your 3. Who would you pick?
Genty, Hunter, Gabriel.
Okay.
Who would yours be?
I think I'd go...
Are you putting Cam Ward in?
Yeah. Same one. Take Gabriel out. Pick Cam.
I think that's a fair argument. But again, Gabriel will get the bump, and especially if he can pad some stats against not Michigan.
No,
I would never. USC did beat Maryland on Friday night.
Hey, how about them Trojans?
I turned that off.
Wait, they didn't beat Maryland, did they? Didn't they lose them?
I'm sorry.
They beat the other terrible team on the East Coast.
Rutgers.
Yeah, there we go.
The other red team on the East Coast. I turned it off when it was 28-20 because I said, I am not doing this again. I am not ruining my Friday night for this. I just had to watch the Grizzlies lose to the Rockets. I was already in a bad mood. And I turned it off, and I was so pleasantly surprised. Double-digit win by my Trojans. I can't wait to watch them in person next weekend. two middling Big Ten teams, USC and UW. I will be there. All right, we'll take a quick break here. When we come back, we'll do some Hot Mess Express from the weekend. We have to talk about the D. Wade statue. It was bad. It was bad. If you haven't seen it, it'll be a fun surprise for you. We'll get into that along with the other hot, messy stories from the weekend after we come back.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Anticipate each challenge. Make a quick response. Capitalize on every opportunity. And win. Greatness won't wait. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies checking from Pinnacle. Play hard. Bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
At Southland Casino Hotel, it's time to work hard, play hard with our $500,000 giveaway. Earn entries October through November 9th and take home free play and amazing prizes on select Saturdays, including a big rig. Stay connected on social media for weekly drawing clues. Join us November 9th for the grand finale drawing where you could drive off in a four-wheeler, side-by-side, or big rig. Work hard and play harder at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
Hot Wheels fans, don't miss the exciting return of Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live Glow Party at FedEx Forum. Don't miss the world premiere of Scalosaurus. Watch your favorite Hot Wheels monster trucks light up the floor, including Gungster, Bone Shaker, and the legendary Bigfoot. Plus the dazzling dance party, laser light show, and more. And save up to 50% on kids' tickets. Don't miss this one-of-a-kind Hot Wheels experience at FedEx Forum, November 2nd and 3rd. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
We have not talked to you since we got the big fella that's going to go next to you. What has impressed you about him, though? Just being on the same court with him, because you've watched him a lot in college. You got to see him. We got to see him very, very little in summer league.
Very quick twitch, like decision making. Yeah. No real fear of anything. Like very vocal, able to talk through the game. But I mean, like, do win Player of the Year twice. Like
I know.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The three big beats this week. One was root for points in honor of John Roser. How about that Miami-Louisville game?
Good
Crushed
grief.
the over, which was 60. Finished with 97 total points, 52-45. Meanwhile, the Academy's covering again, both Army and Navy, getting the job done.
This.
Army, best start since 96.
America.
Navy crushed Charlotte. They're ranked 23rd and 24th in the country.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
John Cena was spilling life lessons on this stream, bro. So the best thing I watched all week, John Cena on the Cassinet stream. By the way, he stole your hairdo. You got to make a phone call.
I was about to say, you showed me a little bit of this clip because I saw the messy room, and the only thing I could see is John Cena's hair. I mean, come on, bro.
He stole your bar.
It's
he stole
literally identical.
He stole your flow, bar for bar, word for word.
How is mine more gray than his, though?
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
Choo-choo!
All aboard!
The Hot Mess Express. Chugga, 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 chugga.
Welcome back, welcome back. It's time for the Hot Mess Express. As I was scrolling on social media last night, getting ready to watch Cowboys Niners, something popped up on my timeline and I said, certainly this cannot be real. But it was. And it was. The Dwyane Wade statue that was unveiled in Miami last night is a tribute to his "This Is My House" game winner. Does that remind you of the "This Is My House" moment? Do you see the win over the Bulls in that statue?
That looks like what I imagined in my head. I said it in the chat. I don't know if you saw it. You remember Aesop's fables?
Yes.
No, Aesop he looks like Aesop to me. That looks like what I picture Aesop or Othello, one of those really, really old, like, black people from the BC era.
I think he looks like Lawrence Fishburne.
And
many have pointed it out.
He will be, Lawrence Fishburne would be great playing Aesop in a movie.
Sure would. Like 87% Lawrence Fishburne, and I can't even say 13% D Wade. I don't see any D Wade other than the jersey on his statue body. Did you ever see, there was this like Wizard of Oz spin-off where people turned into stone?
No.
It really haunted me as a kid, and I haven't thought about it until this exact moment. No one, I don't think anyone famous, but I remember watching it often, and the whole premise was like they had to save people from getting turned into stone. But I think that's the only option of us getting statues that look like people at this point, because we can't make statues. You're gonna have to like do a mold of somebody and then take it off of them and then have that be the statue. Because otherwise, this can't happen.
Yeah,
This is worse than the Lionel Messi one, and that one is top tier, some of the worst statue work I've ever seen.
I think it also might be worse than the Kobe Bryant one.
Yeah, but they spelled something wrong on that one too, so that was like, there were a lot of components to that being bad.
How did the Greeks do it? How did Da Vinci? Did Da Vinci carve Michael?
We don't have Da Vinci's. This is the thing. They're trying to take the money out of the arts, and we need to be supporting starving artists more, because one of them has to become the next Da Vinci or Michelangelo.
Da Vinci gave us a statue of was it Michael or was it was David, the statue of David?
Yes.
Right? But we don't know what David looked like, so that could have been a terrible rendition of what David actually looked like.
So
we're doing statues of, and we all know what these people look like now. That might be the problem. Who's done a good statue?
Michelangelo did the David.
Okay, Michelangelo did David.
And Da Vinci did the, wait, didn't he?
Didn't he do what? Either way it goes, my point still stands.
Anyway, yes.
We can't have people doing statues of people who we know what they look like. Like, if we didn't know what Dwyane Wade looked like, this would be a pretty good statue.
That's not true. You at least have to err on the side of, hot. Like, for lack of a better term.
I got you.
Like, you gotta make these statues look good. This looks like a monster.
Make it sexy.
This looks scary.
S-E-double-G.
I don't like this. You have to, like, turn them into Greek. Like, how do we know Greek gods from statues? So we think they're all pretty hot.
And we don't know what they look like.
No.
See? But I got you. Good grief, this is a bad statue.
It's so bad.
Did you see his daughter? I thought about sending his daughter's face.
Did you see his son's face?
No.
Oh, I think we have the video of him and his son reacting to it. It is like the shared look between them. Like, this is bad. This is bad. But how do we make sculptors, like, we must make sculpting a good profession again. We need to create competition amongst statue sculptors. You've got to put them on a for lack of a better word, put the sculptors on a pedestal so that they are inspired to put good statues on the pedestal.
Getting statues? Because I'm gonna be honest with you, the only people I can think of over here who get statues, are athletes and Confederate generals, right? Like those are the only people.
And we can't do those anymore. So it's only athletes.
Who's getting statues over here? We need to bring back people getting statues. Like I want to walk into somebody's house and there's just a bust of their mama on the stand or something like that, right? That's how you get better.
We put too much work into bobbleheads.
Yes.
A bobblehead is not a statue.
Give us more statues.
Get rid of the bobbleheads, get rid of the Funko Pops, and start putting your talents to work and give you an actual statue. We don't need miniatures. I don't need Barbies. We have too many Barbies of things. Give me women's statues. We don't even have enough women's statues, period.
Can you name a women's statue over here?
The Venus de Mayo. Not over here.
No, over here.
No.
Over here. Does Billie Jean King not have one?
Certainly somewhere.
Somewhere she's got to have a statue.
Does Serena have one somewhere?
No. There's.
We should start getting to work.
The only statue she would be able to have.
If it's gonna look like D Wade, I don't want one though.
Who's got one, Kyra? Asia's got a statue.
Oh, that's right. Asia Wilson has one in South Carolina. And I think it was okay.
Yeah, Asia
if I remember correctly.
Asia was fine.
This was so bad.
It's so bad. It's terrible.
This is so bad. I woke up to.
Oh well. Speaking of Asia Wilson, did you see the sighting?
I did. She and Bam are getting a little friskier with their public appearances together, and by friskier I mean simply existing.
I don't
Nothing
like
frisky
this.
about it.
I don't like this.
Why don't you like it? I love it.
I want them to continue the bit.
No.
I'm big into bits. I want them to
live your love loudly.
To be pretending like they're not, but now it's clear they are.
Oh, they
shout out to them.
Somebody even posted a picture of them sitting together at it. I was like, you don't have to blow their spot like that. You don't have to go out of your way. This is a choice. You want them to continue the bit. This is a choice of us, the media. We can't just be like, oh, they're here, they're there, they're everywhere together. You gotta keep a mystique to it, but we don't do that.
No.
We put everything out there all the time. Hey, you wanna know who hates the media? Trevon Diggs.
Come on, Diggs.
Of the Dallas Cowboys. We didn't talk about the Cowboys' loss to the Niners last night. I know that John Roser will make sure that that is discussed adamantly on the Chris Vernon Show later this afternoon.
How could we forget about the Ida B. Wells statue?
Oh, duh.
Duh. It's right there.
It's right there.
It's right there. And that's,
a good statue.
That's a good
And a meaningful statue.
Yes.
More of those, please.
Thank you, Malcolm.
Trevon Diggs comes out after the loss. Before the Cowboys locker room opens up to the media, Diggs is still in his full pads, full uniform, and he came out to confront a reporter for a tweet that was made during the game, which means Trevon Diggs immediately got on his phone, saw this tweet about him, and it was a defensive play. The reporter is from WFAA, which is a local station in Dallas, and was calling out Trevon Diggs on that like big George Kittle gain that it was almost a touchdown to start the third quarter for the Niners. And Trevon Diggs came out to yell at this reporter. We can't say it because he says the F word. But then on his way back, the reporter tries to say, we can talk about it some more if you want. And Trevon Diggs said,
classic comeback.
We can talk about these nuts.
The greatest comeback you can have as a dude is either one or two. Because your mama's still up there.
These nuts
your
is
mama,
up there
your
too.
mammy. But like these nuts, superb comeback.
Like I saw, at first I just saw the FU and I was like, this is tired, this is boring. And then I saw that he said these nuts and I said, I love this. I'll put it on the show.
These nuts about that play.
It was so funny.
Interview these nuts. Like there's so many good things you can do.
It is Halloween season. CJ, do you have your costume ready for Thursday?
I do.
I found an old mask. We had a Halloween party Friday and we weren't gonna wear costumes. And then I found these old scary ass masks that like my dad used to wear when I was a kid to scare me, which means this mask is like 30 something years old and we wore them. It felt very like Katie Heron in Mean Girls when she shows up looking like a monster and everybody else looks super hot.
Next year I'm gonna be a monster.
Okay.
I've done too many characters.
You're ready to go full. It kind of felt fun to wear something scary.
Yeah, be scary next year. But this year it's gonna be a good one.
I do love Halloween when people get got on college campuses or just in the real world too. Like this doesn't stop. I've seen it, hell, here in Memphis. You see people doing walk of shames in the morning after they spent the night somewhere in the costume that they were in and then they have no other clothes. This happened to me, not walk of shame, I'm a married woman, please. But this happened to me yesterday. We were house sitting, CJ, and I wore my work clothes home from the game to where we were house sitting on Friday, and I didn't realize that I didn't have shoes. So all I had were heels, and all I had was a sweatsuit to wear to breakfast the next morning. I had to wear Chris's extra pair of shoes. I looked like a clown. They're 10.5s. So anyway, I understand the pain of someone like this poor sucker who was wearing the Pop-Tarts costume, trying to walk home, just trying to get home, just trying to find a change of clothes, but all you had was your Pop-Tarts costume.
You didn't want to rock the heels?
Not with sweats.
You didn't want to wear what you wore to the game?
No, I just wore. Can you imagine? What if somebody was like, "Isn't that what she's wearing? Was wearing at the game last night?"
Who's thinking that?
I don't know. I am.
Who's thinking
Me.
that?
I'm thinking that. That would have been. It was too formal for a quick little get out to breakfast.
Okay.
No, I understand the pain.
But
This
yeah.
is your reminder. Make a little to go back.
You got to
gotta come
got to keep a whole kit. Everybody knows that.
Yes.
Keep a whole kit.
Yeah, but sometimes you don't have your kit available. Like if you were out at a party and you don't want to bring a bag, I understand. That's implying that you have something set up at the place that you're going, which would mean that you know where you're going to start the night. Sometimes your night takes a little meander. You don't know where it's going. You can't always be prepared.
I've never had a moment where I was not prepared.
John Wooden would be proud. When John Wooden was saying failing to prepare is preparing to fail, this is precisely what he was talking
Whole kit
about.
is exactly what
Yes,
he was talking about.
Absolutely. All right, last but not least, on our way out, Brandon Ingram had a big game winner for the New Orleans Pelicans over the weekend. It was over Anthony Simons, and the streets are saying, allegedly, reportedly, hypothetically, that Brandon Ingram and Anthony Simons, allegedly, I just want to say allegedly one more time, have a baby with the same woman. And after the
Can we get the video?
shot,
Kyra, play
can
the
we?
video. Play
With the
video.
audio?
With the audio.
Here's the moment after
That's all
Brandon
I
Ingram made the shot.
That's it? I didn't send the video?
CJ.
I sent the video.
He says, yeah, twin, tell her who better. Tell her who better. I will say, there have been fans of the WNBA who have said, like, we don't get the drama, we don't get the relationship drama, and if that's the case, tell me what this is. Tell me what this is.
That's good stuff right there.
It was.
Who do you think she was pulling for in the game?
I don't want to speak for her. I'll let her have her moment.
Where the hell is Mariah Mills, speaking of moments?
Oh my God.
I hadn't seen or heard from her in a minute.
Also, I purposely did not put the Angel Reese Shaq moment from her podcast on Hot Mess Express simply because I could not cringe one more time. Thank you. That is all. It's a Grizzlies game day. We're going to be here tonight. Grizzlies Bowls. We'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have game-winning highlights. Mike Wallace will join us. It's a busy week at FedEx Forum. Get your tickets. Come out. Support the Grizz. We'll see you there. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Kyra, if you can, throw up the warm-up graphic. Watch the warm-up, people.